First, we'll create an activity. We'll start creating an in-class activity. Watch the previous video if you don't know the two types of activities that can be placed on the timeline. We'll introduce a name, a start date and time, and an end date and time. Note that it shows us the total duration of the activity. In this case it's 1 hour. Once created the activity, we can start editing it. Remember that you can make appear the addition area of an activity, by clicking on the activity placed on the timeline. If we zoom in on the timeline, we can check the dates of our activity on it. Moreover, note that in the addition area, there are 2 calendars which correspond to these dates, and we can edit them from here if we want to change the dates and times of our activity. But also, it's possible editing the dates and times of an activity, by dragging and moving the activity on the timeline, extending it or shrinking it. Once we've adjusted the dates and times, we can also edit the name of the activity. Logically, when we change the name on the addition area, it's change also the name of the activity in the timeline. Below the activity's name, we can select the learning objectives that will be worked on in this activity. Remember that the list of objectives appears because we introduced the objectives before, by clicking on the Learning Objectives button. Now, we're ready for creating our first task by clicking on the right button. Automatically, a new task has been added to our activity. Each activity can be composed by 1 or more tasks. In our case, we have 60 minutes in total and we can see, in red color, that we've still have 40 minutes pending to be assigned to tasks. This is because the duration of our first task is 20 minutes. So, we'll create a second task, and we'll change its duration to 40 minutes. Note that now, finally, we don't have more minutes to assign to tasks. Let's editing the tasks. We've already adjusted the durations, so now, we'll edit the type of task depending on the Bloom's taxonomy. In this case, we'll select neutral. Then, we'll choose if the task will be an individual task for the students, a group task or a whole class task. We'll select the last one as it will be a professor's lecture, to the whole class. Then, we'll select the type of teacher's presence, in our case the teacher will be present face-to-face, as it's an in-class activity. But the system allows us to select teacher is not present, or teacher is available online. The last icon of the task header allows us to select if the task will be graded, not graded, or if it's a task for the student's auto-evaluation. We'll select not graded. We'll write a short description of our task on the blank box, and then, we'll repeat the process for the second task. In this case, it will be an understanding task. Note that if we hover the mouse on the different options, the system provides us the descriptions of the Bloom's taxonomy levels. Then, we'll indicate that it will be a group task. Note that now, we must indicate the number of the group members. In our example, they will work on pairs. The professor will be present, so this doesn't need to be changed. And finally, it will be a graded task. Last, we'll write a description for this task, elaborate a concept map of the main ideas explained during the lecture, providing the definitions of the main concepts. OK. We've finished the addition of our first activity. Note that we can duplicate the activity, move the new activity on the timeline, and now, we can edit the new activity by just changing those things that will be different. Check the next video to learn how to add resources to the activities.